Greetings, welcome to EnergySpin Fireside Chat. My name is Marko Koski, here's my partner.
My name is Marko Kuokkanen, and here with us in the studio is Jari Vataja from VEO.
Yo, nice to meet you, everybody.
We are running Fireside Chat. This is our last episode for this summer. Looking forward to the fall, hopefully having nice discussions going on. But today's discussion will be on emerging technologies. We have nice guests coming up, and perhaps we could start a presentation by 21TDMC. We have Janne on the other side.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Janne Alasaarela. I'm calling you from the west coast of Finland, as well as Vaasa, but a little bit more south. So we are working on a Finnish-German startup called 21TDMC, and we are developing an efficient and economical method for converting low-temperature waste heat to power, like hot water to electricity. Our unique method is based on the expansion of liquid instead of expansion of gas, which makes our method more suitable for low temperature waste heat. We are currently running first customer pilot with really small engine, and already starting the second customer pilot with a little bit bigger, it's like 10 kilowatt engines. And we are looking for new pilot opportunities and partners to develop our technology more further to up to bigger engine and industrial size engines. And also we are looking for seed funding of 600,000 euros. Of course, we have this ongoing situation of Corona, but we are looking forward to close the seed round in the fall of this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janne. And now let's call to Estonia. Is Estonia there?
We are here, yeah. So hi, I'm Chris Thompson. I'm the founder of and CEO of Neuroactive AI. We're developing a system for automated machine learning and predictive data analytics. So the aim of our system is to make it easier for companies to build predictive models, predictive machine learning models. We've developed the first version of our software, and we're currently looking for companies to participate in pilot projects. And we've been carrying out a couple of pilots recently in Estonia. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I think we start to discuss it with you. So talking about artificial intelligence, so nice to have you, Jari, here at our office. And I know that you have a very long career at Wärtsilä, so you have a bit perspective about the new things. So how do you see the importance of artificial intelligence and how it could be really used in the energy business?
Well, thank you, Marko, for invitation. Seems to be that I'm lucky to be here, so I don't have technical difficulties that you guys are taking care of that one. So compared to the others, but yeah, like you said, I have a long career also in Wärtsilä. Nowadays working for VEO for 2 years, and in VEO we are the integrators for different kind of operation in energy business, mainly energy business, electrification, automation. We work on three different segments. That's power distribution, power generation, and then the industry segments. And myself, I'm leading the power generation business, which is the diesel power plants, hydropower plants, and also the expert service for all that scope. And back to your question, that artificial intelligence, I see that there is no way that the energy business will proceed without artificial intelligence. I see it's a must, it's an enable for everything. We need to get the equipment censored, we need to get the data from the equipment, we need to be able to analyze it. And I see that this is really a future for the energy business. That's my opinion.
Okay, so Chris might have business in the future now when he's dealing with the topic. So
That should be something for you, Chris. So you heard from what's VEO's point of view on this one. So, and you've been doing some business as well, and at least some applications in Estonia regarding the things. And after hearing the VEO's comments, so how would you comment to AI skills in utility business? Your AI skills?
I mean, no, I mean, I very much largely agree with the comments. You know, there's very few industries that aren't getting changed by AI technologies to some extent, and the energy business is no exception. You know, and even more so, it's dealing with very large quantities of data. You know, so any industry that's got high data volumes is a good candidate for kind of AI related solutions. Yeah.
Great. Chris, you participated in our EnergySpin in here in Vaasa. If you think about the actions towards utilities, so has there been any surprises what you kind of think of?
Any surprises in terms of
To other, let's say, business areas you've been working with?
yeah, I mean, well, let's see. I mean, I guess every industry has its own, you know, set of requirements and so on. I don't know if there's anything especially surprising about the utility business in that respect. You know, one of the kind of challenges we've been dealing with as a business is whether companies can process their data on their own premises or not. You know, every industry is different in that respect. You know, banking industry, very much the data has to stay on the premises. You know, with technical data, you know, sensor data is not always considered as sensitive. You know, so one thing I'd be kind of curious to know is whether, you know, with the energy business, whether cloud-based software solutions are suitable for that or not.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, let's go back to the Jari. So VO is mostly a system integrator, and let's say that very experienced in delivering different kind of projects. So how do you see this kind of new trends affecting on deliveries, and do you have possibilities to try something new with the customers? Because usually there is a very strict specification what you have to fulfill. So how do you see the situation?
Well, I see there is a challenge because I see what is coming and what needs to be done. I mean, like I mentioned before, that artificial intelligence, I don't see any other possibilities coming. But then again, if we talk about the energy business, power distribution, power generation, the customers are generally very old-fashioned. They like to have a hardwired connection. Even bus bar is no-go. So I guess the main, I mean the bus connection, not the bus bar. Yeah. But the main challenge is to get these customers to accept the idea that you get the data into the clouds and you utilize it from the clouds. I think that's one of the big challenges I see, and there I see that we have a role to be a connection towards our customers and try to get these things through. Also, the data and the cyber security is very heavily linked on this one. So that's the main reason, because the critical infra we are working with, and therefore this it has to be secure. How do you do that one? And we work with our customer terms actually, and I mean, doesn't matter what we come up, and we need to be able to sell it to the customer. So
even deliver after that. So
yes, yeah. So I see that's a challenge, but I like I said earlier, I see a big potential, and I don't see any way than go with it.
Yeah. Have you noticed this, because now artificial intelligence is like a fashion, so what is actually the main driver, what is driving, let's say, customers towards in the energy business to use AI?
It comes down, of course, cost is one main driver, and also the energy market, there is the renewables is coming, and there are the grid fluctuations, for example, which is a big debate at the moment, or big issue for the TSOs like Fingrid and Statnett and these. We mostly work in Nordic countries. That how do you predict these kind of ripples and drops in the frequency? And for example, in our scope, we have the hydropower, and then we are working on batteries connected to the hydropower, that how we can actually react on these changes or fluctuation in the grid. But then again, you know, when you know you need to react, you are already too late. But I see that there would be a chance for artificial intelligence to how to say to predict these things, and then to prepare the standby power on that one. So the main driver, I would say, the big driver is this kind of transformation in the energy business toward renewables, and then you need the storage capacity and the control, how you control the frequency. And for that, I see that artificial intelligence has a role. Of course, then there comes again also the maintenance issues. I mean, you have a machinery which you need to follow up, and like you say, one of the main drivers. It has to be, from a customer point of view, you need to operate it reliably and also cost effectively. And that means that if you can do unmanned operations, then there you also need artificial intelligence. It can be used as a design basis and so on. So I see only opportunities for that one. Of course, artificial intelligence is still many steps beyond the monitoring and that one. Then it comes down that how you crunch the data.
Yeah.
That if you have a lot of data, but you know what to do with. So there I see also the possibility. But this can be an endless discussion.
Thank you, Jari. So AI is a big thing, and we certainly agree on that one. But there's therefore a lot of competition, a lot of companies doing that, and not only the small ones, but especially Google, Microsoft, the big giants. Chris, what would be different what you're offering if you think about this AI solutions, and what could a small startup do and compete with these giants, if we say so?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's quite a challenge to us to compete with these big companies. One of the key things we've focused on with our product is ease of use. So we've really tried to build the easiest way to build predictive models for any kind of data. I guess a small startup offers more flexibility. You know, if there are features that a client wants, we can actually build them straight into the software. But also, to some extent, we offer sort of consultancy as well. So rather than just the software itself, we're offering a kind of a package, you know, a comprehensive package of the software plus sort of expertise. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask, for example, Chris, from VO, or anything you could think of?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask, actually, you know, a lot of AI is related to prediction, and if there was anything you could predict regarding your own business, what would it be, actually?
I mean, it comes down just what I mentioned also. We do have our own products, for example, and we would like to, of course, follow up on those products and see how they are behaving and see the data and when to go at site and when we need to do the preventive maintenance and get the lifetimes and this stuff. So that this is something what we need to offer. And like I said, that our customers are quite old-fashioned, that kind of critical data, I mean, load sharing and access and control of the plant, it's difficult to get on the cloud. But then again, the products, like monitoring the equipment, I think that could be done in a cloud services, and there we could get this kind of artificial intelligence. And one thing is also this kind of robotics that it's included, that you need to get the trends from the equipment, and then you need to be able to analyze and tell it. And of course, engineers don't like it because they want to do their own judgments. But I mean, we are running out of engineers, as you know, probably that in this, at least in Finland, Nordics, electrical automation engineers, they are kind of endangered species at the moment. So if we can improve the situation with artificial intelligence, that would be great.
Yeah, you have to go and work.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jari. I think it's a moment for you to ask something from Chris. So.
But how do you see, what could we do for you? I mean, how can you connect with the end customers? I think you're still far away to get there. And what can we do for you to get in connection with our customers and grid operators to introduce this thing?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd be very happy to sort of, you know, give you a demo of our software at some point to show you. I mean, there's two real kind of capabilities or things that our software does. You know, one is to do with sort of analyzing the data quality and sort of helping the customer get a better understanding of the data that they're dealing with through visualization. So there's a whole part of our software is to do with that. And also the second key thing is obviously the predictive modeling. You know, so as you've mentioned, there's a lot of areas in the energy industry where predictive models can be applied. You know, for grid operators, for example, you know, we could potentially build a model which would predict grid losses, for example, based on atmospheric conditions, you know, and things like this. So, you know, any type of predictive modeling would be kind of within our capabilities. You know, so any introductions or so on would be, of course, very, very welcome. You know, in that kind of area.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I think it's time to see if Janne is still awake, and let's connect him to the call. So
Yeah, let's jump over from AI discussion for a moment. Janne been listening to that for a while, and 21 TDMC is a little bit different story. You know, less software, more about thermodynamics. And how you explain your current situation of your product today, Janne?
Yeah, well, we are, as I said before, we have finalized our first customer pilot. It's a small nano size engine, and we have already launched and be developing a 10 kilowatt size engine model, which is it can be modular in terms that we can increase the size of the engine, the end product, up to 50 kilowatts, but it's still a small engine, and we are looking forward to that project to be ready by this year, end of this year. So it's going to be running on our customers in October or November this year, and yeah. So this is we have 2 pilot customers, one in Germany and one in Finland, who will be the engines will be tested in their facility. So this is our situation on the technical side. And of course, it's always in terms of the funding, and it's not cheap to develop new engine. And when we are moving forward looking forward to reach the industrial size engines, then we'll need some partners and funding for developing megawatt size engines. That's in the long run. But I hope we will reach the proof of concept with the 10 kilowatt size engines to convince our industrial partners or interested partners that this project is really scalable and interesting to move forward and increase our funding to these future projects.
okay, thank you, Janne. You partly already answered to my next question. So I was going to ask about, let's say, your potential customers, and you mentioned about the, let's say, the industrial scale. So how do you really see the steps that then, if I a little bit change the question, that which are the, let's say, that the most important markets for you then? You start from Finland, obviously, but after that, have you thought about that? Which are the next steps?
Yeah, so we are since we are a Finnish German company, so we have a German office also, and we are operating on both countries, but we are already operating in both countries. So we have customers from Finland and from Germany, but I think that the manufacturing industry in 2 areas is like both of our current customers are from different areas, but they both use the same engine. Basically, they have the same similar heat output, and the other is a boiler manufacturer, and they can use our technology to convert low heat boilers, which is like under 110 degrees Celsius biomass boilers. So they can convert this boiler to a small size combined heat and power plant. This is for distributed energy production, and for other is a diesel generator manufacturer. They make also small size diesel generators up to 150 kilowatts, and they will use our technology to increase the power efficiency, the fuel efficiency of the diesel generators. And this is based in Germany, and we're looking forward when we get the engines ready and running, and then we can, reach the proof of concept to convince our, let's say, like big size boiler or diesel generator manufacturers to start a cooperation with us.
Thank you. Perhaps to Jari here, you listened now what 21 TDMC is about. So traditional industrial processes have a lot of waste heat, so fuel for the, let's say, for 21 TDMC. So if you think about processes making more effective and green, that's a trend. And if you think about importance of waste heat in the source of green energy, how you see that one?
Well, that's definitely
that's a trend where everything is going at the moment. We all know, for example, in Finland we are going to stop burning, was it 2023 even or 2025? And we also in Bio, we have a strong history on thermal power plants and optimizing the automation and the electrification for the burning process for a thermal power plant, thermal power generation business. And we see those inquiries getting less and less from that point of view. But then we are getting more on automation side, that where we are actually talking how do we control the total ecosystem of heat pumps and the pumping stations and so on. So this tendency, I see that we need to utilize the heat in a different way. It may be geothermic, or it can be the industrial residue waste. And small scale is also coming, that even smaller and smaller plant can be bakeries or small factories who want to utilize their waste heat. And of course, like it was mentioned here, that all these diesel power plants, wherever you have rotating machines, you produce electricity, you have waste heat basically. And if you can utilize part of that one, I mean, everything is a plus. So definitely I see whatever we can save, and looking here, I mean, the bigger you get the products, the more potential you're going to get for that one. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. Jari, you already mentioned earlier that the customers in this business are very conservative. But if you think further ahead, so that what are the other factors which are actually limiting the usage of this kind of new technologies?
Well, it's let's say at least if we talk about this specific product, I mean, still the scalability is one thing that is still a little small, I would say. And then there are certain precautiousness of the customer, but I see that one going away. I think they are more, maybe Janne knows better, but I feel that people are more and more open to try different kind of solutions.
So we are back to that part again. So
yes, so that's a good thing. I don't see basically any limitations. I mean, if you can get the system and proof of concept, the thing working, I see a lot of potential with this, especially that the political decisions that we are stopping burning the fossils. So then it's a waste heat where you basically take it, geothermal and waste heat process.
Thank you. If we back to Jan here, so if you think about transition to renewable energy, so and you're using waste heat, so how you could actually then contribute to the transition on that one, so to renewable energy, because you're using waste heat. So how you see that one?
Yes. So as I see that we are on the long run on the transition to renewable energy, and we have to make sure that we are using the resources, the energy resources right now, the most efficient way. And I'm not seeing, there's still we are going to have many decades until we are full renewable, and we must have some kind of transitional phase solutions. And I think that our solution can bring both the transitional phase solution to use the resources more efficiently, as well as and later on, it's very easy to use our technology on the geothermal energy and the solar energy in the efficient way, and it's quite economical actually, also as well as thermal energy storages in the how to store the energy and the grid balancing and everything. If there is a surplus of electricity, then there are some companies who are actually buying the electricity when it's really cheap and locally heating up the apartments with a big tank under the ground. And they are really interested in our technology, that if they could produce electricity out of the 90 degrees Celsius water. And it's like, yes, it's possible. And there's this kind of interesting things going on, but we don't have the resources right now to push heavily forward on this project. We have to focus on the ongoing projects, but we are increasing right now. We just hired a new engineer, and hopefully we get our project forward and increasing the proof of concept and getting more partners joined us.
Okay, thank you, Janne. Back to the Jari. We have quite a lot been talking about, let's say, the thermal power business. So, do you see any other things which are like trends, or you want to comment something?
Yeah, I mean, my question, of course, was the scalability, but you commented that one. But maybe you could just tell me that, okay, we talked last year already about, we met and we talked about this, your system, and I find it very fascinating. But are there some kind of a theoretical limits, how high you can go with the maximum effect on that one?
So far, we have not seen into paper. Basically, it's an iteration between what is economically feasible to scale it up. I mean, as we're talking about a waste heat of a power plant, so the size of the engine must be like megawatts or something. But I see that it's going to be really expensive to develop such an engine, and it's more economical to develop, let's say, a 100 kilowatt engine first, and then use it as a modular basis to increase the size up to 500 kilowatts or something like that. And this is something like maybe it's in the future. It's good idea to look forward. What is the situation after a couple of years? That are there so much centralized systems existing, or is the market going forward to a decentralized? So it's also something that we don't have predictions yet. But I'm seeing more and more on the decentralized power production solution. So it can be more wise to look forward for the modular and small scale engine development.
Sounds good.
Good. Thank you, Janne. Do you have any questions further, perhaps to Vel, for example?
Oh yes, yeah. Actually, I heard bits of the answer before, and I'm just if you think about, you have been working very much with the power production and power plants, and of course this is the end game. We have already been talking with a couple of let's say like Ukrainian coal plant operator and so on. So they are having a lot of waste heat. Most of the burnt energy is wasted as heat to the local lake or something like that, and they are not having any heat on the apartments nearby. So they are not heating up the apartments, so they don't use the heat anywhere. But I'm still a bit concerned about the business culture in this level. So what I have been thinking, that how do you see the situation now in the power industry, and how is the culture of trying new solutions or giving opportunities for startups to try out solutions?
Yeah, thank you. And like I mentioned earlier, I see that they are coming, at least from our customer, we see that they are more and more open, and also there are, let's say, the threshold to get all kind of support, for example, from Business Finland or some other government instances, that's getting lower. So it can be even an enabler to get the bigger project, to get something new within the project. So I see that the mindset is there at the moment. So if it's about the environmental, it's about the efficient energy efficiency, I see that there is a good grounds for it. So I'm very positive on that one. Whatever new we can bring, we can also, as an integrator, I mean, if we bring, for example, your products along, it's kind of new for them. It's making us also very interesting, because we are bringing something else than the competition, for example. So I see only positive things on those. At least we can discuss those, and many of the customers are taking it possibilities very well.
All right, thank you, Janne, Chris. It's been great to have you all here. This was our last episode before the summer holidays, which all of us are waiting for. If you have any questions from the audience, please send us. We'll be happy to, let's say, forward them to our people, not only this episode, but also the earlier ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Jari. Thank you, guys.
All.
Bye-bye.
Bye.